Ho, ho, ho. Merry happy.
Oh fuck, my mic fell over. Hold on.
Oh, the shit.
You ain't driving, are
I steer a little, but the rain did with my sword.
I'm
I'm sure
keeping
that
that
will be
in.
edited out.
No, that's staying right there. Hello, I'm your host, Diego Crespo. Merry Christmas with my co host, Macaringo.
Yep. Hey, you go to Wikipedia, you go to type in Violent Night. The first two things you get are violent non-state actor and
What?
violent non-state actors at sea.
Well,
Which is those are terrorist terms.
okay.
So,
Is Santa Claus a terrorist?
yes.
Really? You think so?
Giving coal to children. I don't fucking know. I have no
Oh,
take.
yeah, if you're giving coal to children, that's just mean. You
It's
don't have to
just,
be a terrorist, you're just mean.
he's just a jerk.
It's a little Old Testament, you know?
Yeah.
We're here to talk about Violent Night because we're here to talk about Christmas movies.
Yeah, we
We,
were like, hey, we should talk about this Santa movie because we do Santa movies for whatever reason.
because they're awesome.
Well, one was fun. We had fun watching one
Oh,
like
yeah.
4 years ago. What the fuck? When did Christmas Chronicles come
That
out?
was like 2019.
Good lord,
And then last year was Christmas Chronicles 2, which was bad.
which was just terrible.
Yeah, that was a real bummer.
That one was just like, I guess we have to talk about this.
Yeah, well, it was just like because the first Christmas Chronicles was just such a fucking like wacky adventure. Like if I was a little kid, that would have been like my favorite Christmas movie.
Yeah.
Versus like Christmas Chronicles 2, which is like actually we need to talk about like the Christmas power comes from the Star of David, and I'm like, oh, we're going here because God bless him, but Kurt Russell, you know, is a he's a religious man, and
Mm.
I'm sure there was some conversations about wanting the spirit of Christmas to be tied into the spirit of Jesus and the Bible and shit.
Or it could have developed organically. I don't fucking know.
Or I
Like,
don't know. I'm not shitting on Kurt Russell. I love Kurt Russell.
the problem is it was directed by Chris Columbus.
I mean that. Unfortunately, I hate to agree with you, but I think that was the major problem. Yeah.
Yeah. Who like who hit like in a real coward move. He produced the first one, and then when that ended up being a surprise hit, he fucking muscled his way into being the director of the sequel. Which is like, is there anything more cowardly than that? And then he strangled this franchise in his crib.
Oh. Well, there might be something more cowardly than that, which we'll
What's
talk
the...
about. We'll talk about later. But
Alright.
we're gonna talk about some stuff I like first.
We're gonna talk
Like,
about a bunch of shit today, just because why not?
yeah, but Violent Night. If for those who don't know, it's Die Hard with Santa Claus, which is like maybe either the best or worst premise I've ever heard in my entire life.
What should have been the title, because honestly, Violent Night, like not a great title.
No, it's
Honestly.
not.
Like I get what they're trying to do, but it's like I always have to double check and be like, wait, that's the title, right?
Yeah, like what did I say when you said we have to talk about it? Because I think this one was your suggestion, and
No,
what did I
you
call it?
suggested this like months ago. Like whenever the first trailer dropped or something, you were like, "Hey, we got to do something for Christmas. Let's do this Violent Night." And I was
God,
like,
these last couple months, I just have to say, I've been such a fucking fever dream. I've been
"Yeah,
like, I'm like so, I'm not exhausted anymore, but I felt like a shell of a person a couple days ago, and now I'm
yeah."
finally excited about life again.
And then
Well, I don't even remember that.
it came out, and I was like, "I guess I have to see it." And then I messaged you and were like, "Are we still doing this?" And then you're like, "Oh yeah, go see." And then you called it something else.
Like
You call it
silent.
Deadly Night,
Deadly Night.
which is Silent Night, Deadly Night.
Yeah, yeah, that's why.
And
Garbage Day.
and then I was like, wait, is that the title? And then you look it up again, and it's like, oh no, it's Violent Night. And it was like, okay, I get it. Violent kind of sounds like silent, like, but I guess they could, like, they really should have just gone like Silent Night Violent Night, right? Like that should have been the
Would that
title.
have stepped on the toes of the Silent Night, Deadly
Yeah,
Night, though?
that's the thing. I guess like that's like a copyright thing. Like you can't do it, but I don't know. Like who's gonna fight you? Like,
You'd be surprised because let's before we talk about Violent Night, directed by Tommy Wirkola, starring David Arbor, John Leguizamo. Let's talk about some other non-orthodox Santa adjacent violent Christmas movies.
yes, there's a few of them,
All right, so the big one we just talked about was Silent Night, Deadly Night.
and the like 4 sequels.
And yeah, I have not seen all the sequels.
They're the first like three, I think, are all kind of interesting. Like,
I like them. Yeah. I like the first two.
oh, and 4 is directed by Brian Usna. So,
Oh well, now I have to watch it. I did not know that. I have to watch that. I
So,
really liked Brian Usna.
I've never seen. Let's see, 5. 5 was written by Brian Usna, but I don't think I've actually seen that one.
Like written or directed? Because now
Written. That was just written.
all right.
And it
So
looks like a few years ago they did a reboot. They just called it Silent Night. So, I don't fucking know, man.
yeah, you know what? I fucking remember trailers for that.
I don't, honestly.
I do because Malcolm McDowell was popping up and stuff a lot then, especially horror stuff. I mean, we talked about the Rob Zombie Halloweens and everything
Yep.
like that, but Malcolm McDowell was kind of like just fucking cashing in on his like genre cred from Clockwork Orange and everything, and he's like a great actor.
Yeah.
But he's also notorious for like when he did the Star Trek movie afterwards, he was like telling other people he knew like, why the fuck are you doing those shitty Star Trek movies and shit? I was like, what the fuck is wrong with you? You know?
I clicked on Silent Night and I got depressed because it looks like Ellen Wong was in it. Who 2 years previously was Knives Chow and Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, she should have a bigger career in my opinion.
Yes, she should. I guess she was in Glow,
Yeah,
which got canceled.
she is working. Like she it looks like she's at least working, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, not to get completely off track already, but like for people that know or follow my Twitter, I've been watching the Chucky show, which if you like the Chucky franchise, you're gonna fucking love the show. So I love the show, and I've been listening to a lot of the Dead Meat like after shows, like because they interview like cast and crew members, like puppeteers, the actors, Don Mancini, and Christy Elise, the woman who plays Kyle from Child's Play 2, and she pops up in the franchise too, and she was talking about how like, she's not a star, but she's working regularly, but also, she would like to be working more, frankly. And like that is like an avenue a lot of actors find themselves in. Not everyone gets to blow up to Chris Evans' popularity or whatever, and that's totally fine. David Arbor was kind of one of those guys for a while.
He was.
And he's always been a quality actor, but he just kind of popped up and stuff. He wasn't like a star. And I think maybe he might be a star now a little bit.
Yeah.
Not a mega star, but people like him.
Star, but this movie did kind of like wildly overperform what they thought it would do.
Yeah, I think everyone expected it to be kind of a bomb.
Mm-hmm.
And then the buzz around the... Because I saw this through, not Fantastic, Beyond Fest.
Mm-hmm.
And the festival buzz like was big around it. And everyone's like, okay, well, we'll see how it does. Like, we'll see, like, whether or not it's the real deal. And we'll talk about that. But it's more Christmas violent stuff like that. So I also asked you to watch Christmas Bloody Christmas. Did you end up doing that?
I did not.
Okay. That's totally fine, because it's fucking awful.
All right.
I would have apologized to you right now if you see it. It's so bad. Have you seen any other Joe Bagos movies?
No, I have not. I don't think.
Okay, he did a VFW, Bliss, I think something called Deathgasm. I haven't seen Deathgasm. I just saw those two I just referenced. People seem to like him. He's kind of like a modern exploitation guy.
I think I saw Bliss, and I remember liking it.
Okay.
But that's, I think, all I've seen of his.
Yeah, no. Sorry, I know he's got a fan base. I don't know his quality as a person, but I do know his quality as a filmmaker, and it's not for me.
I'll say here's the thing: I saw Bliss, and it wasn't enough to get me to check out the rest of his work.
Okay.
So, and also, like, I'm struggling to remember like what I liked about it. So,
It's he wanted to do Abel Ferrara's The Addiction on 16
yeah,
millimeter, and I cannot blame anyone for wanting to do that. Frankly, I'm
and
not.
you know what? I probably just responded to like, "Hey, 16 millimeter."
I
Like,
mean, that's the thing. So I'll talk about Christmas, Bloody Christmas before we get into the other movie today. So the Bagels came up with the idea because he was pitching on a remake of Silent Night, Deadly Night. The
mhm.
producers were trying to get some another version of it off the ground recently, and I don't think they've had any luck. And he came up with the concept of like a Terminator-esque android dressed up as Santa that would have like used military technology to design its like intelligence, right? Like natural,
So
like
just doing a non-comedic version of the fucking Santa from Futurama.
yeah.
All right.
Um,
I mean,
and
I
then the
guess.
and the producers were like, "Well, that's too far from the original film." And I think I would agree with him in saying that, like, well, Christmas violent horror, like that's
Yeah,
kind of the thing for Silent Night, Deadly Night. That's it.
it's just the title.
Yeah,
Like
like it's not.
it's
There's
there's
no
nothing.
like mythology to it, you
Yeah,
know.
there's nothing more there.
And so I totally agree with him being like, well, I don't think you need more than just the title. Just fucking do whatever with a violent Christmas setting. And so he developed it during when COVID-19 started. He was like, well, I'm just gonna make it my own thing because I like this idea. So I admire that. It's shot on
Shutter put it out.
Shutter. Put it out.
Yeah, I
Um,
should support because like Shutter's kind of like struggling right now.
yeah, yeah. All streaming services are also struggling, and no one's really talking about that. But that's a
Yeah.
whole other conversation. Go support Shutter. It's a great streaming
Shutter
service.
straight up, like I said, I just want to just so we can get this out of the way. Shutter, only streaming service that like I definitely get my money's worth out of. And also, like, if they were like, hey, to stay afloat, we need to raise the price a little bit, it's the only streaming services where I wouldn't drop it if they raise the price.
Yeah.
Like, it is worth it. It is right now. It's like I feel like I'm honestly ripping them off for the amount of good stuff I get through them for the price it is.
Hmm.
Not to give these fucking people other, like more like advice to rip off the public, but I it is the best. It honestly might be the best streaming service out there. I can't think of a better one.
I used to say HBO Max, but they're starting to take off stuff that
Mhm.
I like. Not just stuff I like, but like stuff
Even
in
HBO
general,
Max,
which is like
it's
just
like
fucking crazy.
it's got such bullshit shoved in your face that I hate, and every now and then it still doesn't work very well.
That's so wild because I've never really. I think only one time I had a problem watching anything on there.
Mhm. There's like Criterion Channel, which like it's Criterion. You know what I
Oh
like
yeah,
about
yeah.
Criterion Channel is that like I don't have to log in just to search what they have sometimes.
Hmm.
It's like every other streaming service where I'm just trying to check like, do you have this movie? I have to sign in every fucking time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like it's like Shutter and Criterion. If you want to watch actually good stuff, those are the only two you really need. You can dump every other streaming
Yeah.
service.
Basically, if you listen to this podcast, those are kind of your go-tos.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of the genre of stuff we talk about. That's the umbrella right there.
Yeah.
Um, all right, so but Christmas Bloody Christmas is shot on 16 millimeter. There's a lot of like cool green and reds and purple neon stuff, right? Because it's Christmas and it's a very colorful setting, like intrinsically. Anamorphic 16 millimeter, which is a very rare
Ho
look.
ho ho
So
ho.
yeah, so it's like a very distinct look, and like that's the type of shit that like I would love to use at some point. Um, it's like I don't want to rag on it because it's just like a low budget movie, and I'm glad stuff like this is getting made. But like it's so fucking like obnoxious. Every character's like you know how we used to like kind of drag Rob Zombie's Halloween movies for
Mhm.
like the worst parts of it are when the characters are like, oh fucking what the fuck, fucking
Motherfucking
fuck.
fucking shit,
Yeah,
fucking dumb pussy, fucking head face fucker.
yeah, like the first hour of this movie is like that, and it's
Yeah.
just I saw people describe it as like a hangout movie, and I was like,
Why
I
do
never want to hang out with people like this ever.
why do people write movies like that?
It's probably for budget things too, so that's another thing I'm trying to angle my criticisms properly, because I think I just don't like this filmmaker, which is fine. Again, I'm glad someone out there's making stuff like this.
Yeah.
I would like for it to be more for me next time. But there is also like the budgetary thing. So I'm gonna give some credit to. There's some kill and action sequences.
Wait a minute though.
Mhm.
What does budget have to do with bad dialogue?
No. Not bad dialogue. You're right. That could be done better. That could be done completely better. A lot of stuff could be done completely better. But I refer to budget by just like, okay, we're gonna save up all like the action, like horror stuff for like the back half of the movie. So the first half we just get to know the characters. That in itself is not a bad idea. I think why so many movies do that now is specifically because it's cheaper to do that and like isolate your shooting days for like action sequences or like set pieces.
Yeah.
Like to specific parts of the shoot, and then the rest of the time you just kind of like hang out with your buddies and get the dialogue stuff off. It's more complicated than that, but that is kind of an understandable approach for modern movie making. I'm not criticizing that aspect. I think this still just does a really bad job of it, but I do think some of the action stuff is filmed really well. Some of like, because I just described it as a Terminator-esque android. That's exactly what he's trying to do. He just loves Terminator. I get it.
I mean, yeah. Go ahead. Whatever.
Yeah. But it's just kind of empty and like I could just watch Terminator.
Yeah.
Like, sorry, I could watch Terminator, and I could watch other better Christmas movies.
Terminator is one of the most ripped off movies of all time, though, right?
Yeah. Like, you could watch better Terminator ripoffs and...
Yeah, what are the good Terminator ripoffs?
Lady Terminator.
Lady Terminator, yeah, but that's, like, insane.
Yeah, no. If you haven't seen Lady Terminator, watch Lady Terminator.
Yeah, that is one of those, like, just watch it. You will fucking... be like, I didn't know they made movies like this. And it's like, well, they don't, but here's a movie anyway.
I don't know if this one completely counts, but like honestly, like at least 5 Albert Pune movies, like Nemesis, Cyborg.
Well, that's the thing is like some guys were like really good at being like they clearly pitched it as a Terminator ripoff, and then were able to kind of take it in their own direction, you know?
Yeah, and like
enough beats.
Yeah, and the late Albert Pune, who passed away very recently and gotten a lot of love. With acknowledgement that not everything he did was like even like fun in a B movie way. Sometimes it just didn't work. But like a dude who just had such passion for filmmaking and more than just like he loved other movies, like he loved making his own. And that.
But he's also very smart about how he stretched his budget. Like his movies are worth watching just to be like, he had no money to make this. And it's like, sometimes it shows, and sometimes it doesn't all the time, you know? Like,
yeah, like fucking Nemesis looks incredible. Like, just get past the lead performance.
Yeah, it's one of those where it's like, well, we know where the funding didn't go through.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Get past the lead performance, there's some fucking action in that movie where you're like, wait, what? Like, how did you do that?
There's some weird, it's just like Terminator's like ripped off. The Hidden is kind of a Terminator ripoff. You ever see The Hidden?
I have not seen The Hidden.
You should watch The Hidden. The Hidden's wild. But like that's kind of like they're doing a bit of a Terminator thing in that.
Mm-hmm. I have to say this one, Hardware.
Oh yes, by that lunatic.
Yeah, I completely forgot. But yeah, Hardware. If you could track it down for free, ideally. Don't give money to that asshole. It's totally worth a watch.
It is. It is worth it. Yeah, there's like fun stuff. It's just like, but it's weird. Like Terminator super ripped off. Alien and Aliens are both kind of ripped off.
Yeah, like Neil Marshall's entire career is just like ripping off Aliens, and I love it. I'm just saying, it is that. Yeah,
I think it's one of those things where like you should only be able to do one rip off of those films like once in your career.
I would agree with that. I think I haven't seen his more recent stuff, so I can't speak to that, but I do like Neil Marshall.
I'm really disappointed with his most recent movie. Like, that one seemed to get ripped apart.
Oh, yeah, The Lair, right? That's the one, yeah.
Where it's like, everyone's like, he's trying to go back to his roots, and it just didn't work, which is a real shame.
Yeah.
But,
he should do a Christmas horror movie.
I mean, yeah. Do anything. But, all right, what other Santa movies are there?
No, let me see.
There's Santa's Sleigh. Did you ever see Santa's Sleigh?
No. Should I?
It's directed by Brett Ratner's assistant.
That could go many different ways.
Yeah, you know what? I remember not liking it, and it's like a movie where it's like, turns out Santa is actually a demon, like, and he's like, he gives toys against his will, but he's actually an evil demon, and like he's able to like get revenge on people. The only insane thing about it is that somehow, fucking James Caan's in it.
Whoa.
There's an opening where it's like James Caan with like his family, and his family is like Fran Drescher and Chris Kattan, like, and it's like, oh, these are people we were annoyed with in the year 2005, and Santa shows up in the opening and like kills all of them. Like that's all that's really there, and yeah, it's one of those movies of just people getting killed a lot. And I remember it not being good. But it was one of those where people would be like, man, you guys see it, it's so fucked up. It's Santa killing people. It was on Blockbuster shelves a lot back in the day. Like those, like, where did this come from movie?
Yeah.
Like direct-to-DVD era. And, yeah. But I know it's one people bring up. I think some people like it. So I'm going to check what Letterboxd has to say about Santa's sleigh.
This one hasn't come out yet, but I believe Dwayne Johnson and Chris Evans are working on a Christmas action movie called Red
No way
One.
that won't work.
Wow. Let me see who's directing it. It's probably the guy who did what's Red Notice, right?
Oh, yeah.
Let me see, Red One. No, it's directed by Jake Kasdan. I actually like this filmmaker.
Okay, yeah, Jake Kasdan's fine.
Yeah.
All right, so the top 3 reviews for Santa Sleigh on Letterboxd are a 3-star, a 4.5-star, and a 1.5-star.
Oh, okay, so it's a banger.
Yeah, so it's one of those. It's one of those. Did you ever see Rare Exports?
I did. I love Rare Exports.
Rare Exports is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Where, again, it's like Santa's a demon, basically.
Yeah, it's fucking ridiculous. But
Yeah.
I kind of love it.
It's fun. It's a lot of fun. Did that person ever go on to direct anything else?
Let's see.
Doesn't look like it. Like,
Survey says.
Nothing I've heard of.
Nothing I've heard of, yeah.
So, because that was something I did not know going into Violent Night, is that this was the director of fucking Dead Snow.
Yeah.
And Hansel and Gretel.
Yes. Yes, we'll talk about those in just one second. I have to say, I have seen one other movie the Rare Exports guys made. His name is Jalmari Halander. I'm probably butchering that because it's Finnish and I am not. He directed a movie called Big Game.
Any good?
Oh my god, you haven't heard of Big Game?
No, I have not.
Oh my god. Okay, it's not like a home run, but I think it's tons of fun. It stars Samuel L. Jackson as William Allen Moore, President of the United States, who is shot down in Air Force One.
So he's Obama.
He's Obama. He's shot down in the wilderness of Finland, and then he has to team up with a 13-year-old boy learning to hunt.
It's the kid from Rare Exports. I'm looking at it now.
I think you'll like it.
Here's something.
I think it's kind of underrated.
Top Letterboxd reviews: 3.5 star, 1/2 star, 1 star.
We got some cowards.
Yeah, and then only one person they know has seen it, and they gave it 2.5. So,
well, I think it's underrated.
Well, what are you gonna do?
Yeah,
ultimately,
that is not a Christmas movie. If we're talking like other like action Santa movies or horror Santa movies, I don't think there's that many. It's a pretty niche genre.
Yeah, I mean, there's people will like do shit because it's like Santa killing people. Like everyone who does that thinks they're the first person to like do it. So
yeah.
It's like they want to be fucked up if Santa was fucked up, and it's like, I guess.
Yeah.
Hey, did you see Dead Snow?
I did see Dead Snow.
I like Dead Snow. I don't know how it's aged.
I remember liking Dead Snow. I kind of prefer the sequel.
Oh yeah, the sequel's fun too.
Yeah, just because that one goes like he has the budget to like get really wild with the action.
But Dead Snow has that charm of like they don't have the budget. Like
No,
And
no, it does. Yeah.
they kind of get to have some fun with it. Dead Snow, for people who don't know, it's about zombie Nazis, right?
Yeah,
Like,
Nazi zombies. It
yeah, yeah,
came out like roughly the same time as when the Nazi zombie craze started in Call of Duty. It
yeah.
was filmed before that.
Hmm. Well, it
Because
was one of those. I don't know if you remember. It was one of those movies where like the trailer went viral.
yeah,
Like people were like, "Someone fucking did it!" Like I think
yeah,
it's one of those. Where deep down we all wanted the Nazi zombie movie, and some
yeah.
people's like, "Well, someone finally did it," and so yeah. And it's. I think it's fun.
I do too, and I really like the sequel. It's a good double feature. I'd kind of, if he ever needs like help getting another movie off the ground, just do Dead Snow 3. I'm sure he'll come up with something, and people will be like, okay, yeah, more money for you. Do that
Now,
thing where you got to make a movie to make a movie.
yeah. Now, are we defenders of Hansel and Gretel witch hunters?
Absolutely,
Yep.
absolutely.
That's a fun movie.
It
I don't know
is.
why
I've
it
seen some
hasn't.
people defend some shit, and there are not nearly enough defenders of Hansel and Gretel Witch Hunters.
Yeah, the type of movies I've seen you fuckers defend on Letterboxd. Come on now. In fact, I'm looking at some of you right now, and I know the movies you're defending. You're giving Hansel and Gretel Witch Hunter 2 stars. Come on now. I know the movies you like.
Yeah.
What? What?
Like,
What?
I kind of am annoyed by Rick and Morty, but there's that one great line where he's like, your boos mean nothing. I've seen what makes you cheer. That's kind of how I feel a lot lately.
Yeah. Hey. Yeah, you're right, actually. Um, then you made a movie called The Trip, which I have not seen.
I've not seen The Trip. I have not seen What Happened to Monday.
Mhm.
But they're both on Netflix, I believe, so I should watch them. Or at least What Happened to Monday is.
Mhm.
And it stars Numi Rapace from Prometheus.
She's in both of those movies.
Oh, good for her. She's a good actress. She kind of got fucked over here.
Yeah, I think it was because she picked Prometheus.
No, that's not why.
Yes, and the second Sherlock Holmes movie, and
Oh, that's right.
Bright.
Oh my god, I
Yeah.
forgot.
So like, there's like 3 strikeouts, and
Fucking
yeah,
Bright.
and then we tried to remake those Girl with the Dragon Tattoo movies, so like we kind of buried the originals
Yeah.
at a certain point, and also the budget like drops off huge for the original movies. Like they're not. Those last two look like there's no money in them.
Mm.
Um,
I don't really
everyone that
remember the other ones.
it's the girl who played with fire and the girl who kicked the hornet's nest. I read those books. Um, there are books that you read and you go, yeah, there's a movie in here, but there's not necessarily a great book in there.
Mm.
It's kind of interesting how like it all the events kind of spiral out of control. But hey, she's in The Drop. Did you ever see The Drop?
I did not see The Drop.
That was
Oh,
pretty
wait,
good
yeah. Tom Hardy.
with Tom Hardy, and it's like one of Gandolfini's last movies.
Yeah. I like that
Yeah.
movie.
It's pretty good. Yeah, she did not pick winners.
No, but you know what?
Dead Man Down. Did you see Dead Man Down?
No.
I saw that shit in theaters. Man, that movie sucked.
Aw.
Um,
But you know what? Like Tom Hardy's another like really great actor who's picked winners.
yeah,
They should work together again. Put her in Venom 3.
Tom Hardy's weird where it seems like he's trying to lose and he keeps picking winners.
You know what I think it is? He's just a fucking rabble rouser, working class guy who happened to just become a movie star.
Something. I honestly, who knows?
Because like I hear people in real life who watch like 5 movies a year, right? People know Tom Hardy and they like him more than just Bane, more than just Venom. Like my cousin's husband, I guess cousin-in-law, right? His favorite actor is Tom Hardy. Like he will go see anything Tom Hardy's in without fail. Like, and I just like, wow, that's just a fucking like rare power nowadays.
Yeah.
Like people like this dude. So
What about Bright? Did Netflix just like quietly cancel that sequel?
100%.
Like they were like day one, they're like Bright 2 any day now. Like, and haven't heard a thing.
Yeah. They
That
did some spin-off animated movie that's coming out.
Oh fuck.
Yeah. It's like let me see, Bright 2. It's not called Bright 2, but that'll take me to where the fuck I'm going.
Yeah. Well, I think it's David Ayer's not doing it as part of it, and the writer also isn't doing it.
Yeah, the writer's not doing anything officially. Like, I'm sure he's doing, like, unofficial punch-ups on everything, but...
It's so weird that is what starts the streaming revolution, kinda. Like, Bright was the movie where they were like, this thing was watched by, like, 500 million people day one. You remember, like, it was, like, some insane number? And it was like, so had it been released in theaters, it would have made $1 billion. And, people were like, yeah, but how much does that actually, like, would people who watched on Netflix actually go to the theater? There's that whole debate, right? Mm-hmm, yeah. But that was the people who were suddenly like, there's money in them there hills. Like, that's what it felt like, People were like, oh, the paradigm shift. And then there was the thing where people were like, the negative reviews are a conspiracy being propagated by the theaters and the studios because they don't want streaming to take off. Do you remember this?
No. I completely missed that.
This was peak, like, critics are paid by, like, to give negative reviews. Like, it's right after Batman v Superman 2.
Okay.
Where it's like, everyone's like, they're giving negative reviews because Marvel's paying them and shit like that. And they're like, they're giving them negative reviews because they hate Netflix. But Bright was this moment where people were like, oh shit, Netflix. And it was like, but no one liked it.
Yeah, I mean, that's another movie like the Killer Santa thing, whatever, where it's just like, oh, what if like Middle Earth but modern day? It's like, that's a basic premise. You can do something interesting with that, and I do think there's like potential for a story like that. I really, really do. Bright is fucking terrible for a billion reasons. Max Landis being one of them, David Ayer being another, yes. Right? Like, it's just fucking two shitty peas and like a fucking corpse pod.
Yeah.
Like, it's abysmal on so many levels.
There's 4 things that went wrong with that movie. 1, David Ayer. Max Landis. 3, Netflix. 4, cops.
Oh god, yeah.
Like, that's it. Like,
I mean, that was one of the things. So, like, for people that don't know, since we're just on Bright, and I think the modern action atmosphere actually will bring us back to Violent Night, the movie we're here to talk about. Like, David Ayer and Max Landis worked together just like for a moment, right, on this movie, and then David Ayer did a rewrite. So there are actually 2 scripts of Bright that are out there. They're both bad.
What is the, like, I think David Ayer kind of did, like, he played up the racism stuff.
He played up the racism stuff a lot. He played up the race allegories, the cop stuff more.
Fucking mistake.
I know.
Like, again, like,
we're fucking talking like Avatar, and we'll be back to talk about Avatar 2 next week. But like, we're talking about how like all these movies, like all these fantasy fables and stuff like that, they're inherently problematic just because of like the origins and like Western colonial like storytelling. Like, there's always problematic elements. Why would you double down on them? Like, why would you ever do that? Mm-hmm. Like, unwittingly, like, for no purpose than to like just, I guess, try to. I don't know. I get why James Cameron's doing it. I don't get why David Ayer does it. David Ayer's not James Cameron. David Ayer's not even Joss Whedon.
David Ayer is one of those guys who like thinks he can push buttons, Yeah. And he just can't. Like, he's just not good at it. Like,
yeah. I mean, he's also just a bad filmmaker, because there are plenty of idiots that are just good filmmakers, Yeah. There are plenty of people that are like, I don't want to hear talk ever, but they're good at like what they do. He can't even like I'll never forget. There's just a moment where this dude in the middle of downtown LA in Bright is like swinging this massive sword around, and then he points the sword at like the cops or whatever, and the sword is like facing directly towards the camera, and it looks so fucking visually flat. But David Ayer, when he's like composing that shot, he's like, this is like the money shot. This is the money image. And they use that image like all over the promotional campaign for that movie. And it's just like the horizon's completely eye level. Everything is flat and gray and gross. And that was like the moment that broke me. It's a quick like 5-second image in the movie, but it's the one where I was like, oh, this is worthless. There's absolutely nothing here. There's negative here.
Is that the same scene though where the Mexican cop goes, "I still get shit for the fucking Alamo"?
Yeah, that's exactly that one. It's like, no, that's not a thing. What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, like what?
Like David Ayer getting a Mexican actor to say that, he should be in prison.
Yeah, like
Before we abolish prisons, David Ayer should be in one.
the craziest thing about Bright, in my opinion, everything you said is correct, by the way.
Thank you.
But the craziest thing in Bright is that Will Smith clearly improvised a Shrek reference in it, which means Shrek exists in the Bright universe, which is a universe where orcs are real and ogres are real. How did that get made?
Racism.
Is it like The Birth of a Nation, but like released in 2001? Like,
Oh my god.
think about that.
Also, does 9/11 happen in that universe?
The Alamo still did.
Yeah, so like what? What? And then there's like, remember there's like a shot of a dragon flying over the LA night sky? Is that their version of a plane then?
Yes. Like,
That's
what the
stupid.
what is, you know, what? There's a game, what's it called? I played it years ago, called Arcanum. Have you ever played Arcanum?
No.
It's a old, like, it's a, like, isometric RPG, kind of looks like the original Fallout games. And it's like a fantasy setting, but, like, it's set in, like, a steampunk type era, so, like, all that technology is new, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it does this really interesting thing of, like, here's how, like, it's like, here's the societal effects of living in a world of both science and magic. And this game from, like, 2001 did a lot more thinking about its world than Bright did. So,
Well, because Bright did zero thinking.
yeah.
It did
What's
negative thinking.
What is the Max Landis script? Like, what,
I don't remember all the details of it because it's been a while since I looked at it. Like, how long ago did Bright come out? 5 years ago?
it's whatever, 7 centuries ago.
Yeah, it feels like it. It might as well be ancient history.
Trump year 1, so...
Oh,
like,
Jesus Christ, that's right.
uh,
The worst possible year it could have come out.
Exactly.
Let's address racism with works.
Yeah, when people are like, look, the whole country hasn't fallen apart. You people are overreacting.
Oh.
And it's like,
And-
guess what
and it-
happens 2020, motherfuckers. Y'all thought I was crazy, but...
If I remember correctly, there's also more of like the remember there's like the FBI elves? Like they're not the FBI,
Oh,
but they're like
yeah.
the
Like the
Federal Magic Bureau.
Yeah, because that would
Whatever.
exist.
Yeah. I don't fucking know. But there's more of that stuff like that, and that's kind of like the bookend of it. Like they're really the ones who kind of like it's almost like he tries to use like a Tolkien-esque like bookending, like beginning and end to the story, but like with a federal agency. And I'm like, no, that's not it at all. What?
Yeah.
Like I guess if you want to do like a dark satirical version of it, but he's not someone who was smart enough to come up with concepts for that or like deliver on that premise.
No one working on that movie was intelligent enough to do anything.
That's true.
I mean,
That's completely true.
it's that is still one of those, like, it's an anomaly at this point, you know?
Yeah.
I mean,
It's like when people look back at and I like a lot of movies that have come out on Netflix and TV shows and stuff like that. But when they look back at the failure of Netflix, because that is something that is just going to happen in our lifetime, they're going to point to Bright as one of the problems.
yeah.
As one of like in the Rosetta Stone of the failures, right? They're going to be like, yeah, this is how crazy things were.
They're not just going to point to it, they're going to call it, there's going to be a book published called How Bright Killed Netflix. It's going to be, that is the reason. But, hey,
Yeah.
fuck movies.
Yeah, fuck them.
So Violent Night.
So Violent Night. Okay, so I was talking about like the filmmaking, the action of Bright. some of the stuff that's evolved since the release of Bright is that lower budget action has kind of taken on like a new life in recent years. Like people are watching more Scott Adkins movies than ever, which I kind of love. Not always a home run, but when that dude delivers, he delivers. Friend of the show, my boy Liam O'Donnell, of course, is the Skyline sequels and trying to get some other stuff made. It's a little harder right now. But a big proponent of modern action is the group 8711 slash 87 North. Do you know of them?
Yeah, when I went to see Violent Night, I saw them. I saw their logo.
Okay, so
But also they did Nobody, right?
they did 87 North did Nobody,
Mhm.
Kate, which is another Netflix movie.
Well,
Which
hey, Kate, bad movie.
yes, it is.
Sorry to people. I should have been there for that because it's just Mary Elizabeth Winstead killing people, which is all I ever want in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And the movie just, yeah, not very good.
No, it is not. Bullet Train.
The surprise hit of 2022,
I'm kind of glad
Bullet
it was
Train.
a hit, even though I didn't like it.
even though it's like, it has everything wrong with cinema in it, but like also a little bit that's good.
Look, the action in that movie is good. The action in Kate is good. The action in Nobody is good. Whether they're filmed well or not is another conversation.
Yeah, that seems to be it.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of good ideas in Bullet Train.
Yeah, and look,
And-
like when they remake that movie in 20 years or whatever, I bet it'll be better because we're not going to live in a culture that's just constantly trying to make smarmy jokes and have one of our biggest stars in Hollywood say stuff like "oh fuck nuts,"
Yeah.
which was just degrading.
Mhm.
Yeah,
There's-
bad movie.
it's so
be way
weird.
better if it wasn't just a comedy.
Yeah, well, you know what? I'm fine with it being a comedy, but there was enough stuff in it that would have worked had they cut the stuff that didn't work. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like, there was enough gags in it that, like the fact, like, the whole gag about fucking Brad Pitt just being, like, unlucky, like, that would have been enough to carry the movie, in my opinion.
I agree.
And instead, like, they got, like, 7 other gags on top of it, like,
Mhm.
and that was where I was like, you know, like, it's harder to see the good stuff in it when there's so much bad on top. But it's also a movie I went to see, like, I was dreading going to see Bullet Train, and I walked out of it being like, I mean, it wasn't good, but I didn't, like, hate it. Like,
No, yeah, it's like almost there, and like you know, it was really cool to see like movie stars doing movie star stuff, you know.
yeah.
And like the actors do get like hooked up with like cool money shots and stuff like that. Brian
Yeah.
Tyree Henry's fucking killing
Brian
it
Tyree
with a
Henry's
character that
great.
should not be working.
Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff in it. Like I said, just cut back on the stuff that didn't work. Hey, but I gotta tell you the one thing that really annoyed me about Bullet Train. And it's is it based on like a manga or something?
It's based on a book.
Okay. Is it like a series?
No, it's one book.
Okay. Because like to me it was like maybe there's something that like this would be paid off in a sequel. But there's a gag in it where it's Aaron Taylor Johnson and Brian Tyree Henry, right? Like they're a team,
Mhm.
right? And they keep making the thing where it's like, oh, the twins, and they're not, you know, like they're not twins, right? Like that's the gag,
Yeah.
right? And they keep referring to them as the twins. And they did some job years ago. I can't remember the details. Like they were like Cambodia. Was that what they kept saying? I don't
I
remember.
think so.
But they kept going like, yeah, the twins were in Cambodia, and they would occasionally do flashbacks to it. There's also one of those movies where like they felt like we're gonna tell and show the audience everything.
Mhm.
Like, it's one of those. And it's like, yeah, and they would keep cutting to them, and they would do this weird reverse shot on them, right?
Yeah.
And it'd be like the twins, but they would break the 180 rule and they would flip sides, right?
Hmm.
I honestly thought, I was like, oh, that's actually a clever directing moment. I thought the gag would be, no, they aren't twins, but they both have twins. Right? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I thought that was what the gag was going to be. And I'm like, that's actually really clever. And then nothing happened. Instead, there was no gag. What the fuck was that?
I have no idea.
So the gag is just a dumb, like, oh, one of them's white and one of them's black. Like, that was the actual joke. Like,
Yeah, I have no like conception for any of that.
That was wow. So yeah, it's looking like 87 North is like 50-50.
Well, 87 North is an offshoot of the official brand 8711 Action.
Mhm.
8711 does the John Wick movies.
Okay.
That is their primary like production output. They worked with on Hobbs and Shaw, which is also a terrible movie.
A pretty fucking terrible movie.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
There are moments where the action is good, and again, I think that comes down to how they choreograph it and how they shoot it. I think the choreography is never less than at least solid. Holy shit, the direction sometimes. But the John Wick movies, as we all know, are basically like perfect action movies. Like from top to
yeah.
bottom, at the very least, you're gonna get like a prime action experience. Like they don't miss basically.
Yeah.
Like that's just the way it goes right now. Um, 87 North also did the stuff for Violent Night, and I thought they did a great job. I think the action is really, really well choreographed. And I think the movie is pretty good.
Yeah, I think pretty good all around on my part would be my response.
Okay.
Um, yeah, it was one of those where I walked out of it, and I'll say this: someone texted me after I saw it and was like, "Should I see Violent Night?" And I was like, "Not really." That was kind
Oh,
of my
okay.
response. Like,
Okay,
it
okay.
was okay, but like, I don't know, man. It doesn't get there, you know.
No. It not really. I
There
really
are
liked it though.
action beats I really liked. There
Hmm.
were like a handful of action beats I thought were a real joy, and then there were others that were kind of like, okay, well, we just kind of need this scene to happen, you know.
Hmm.
And there were some I thought that just didn't work at all. And also by the end, it was kind of like, let's just wrap this up. Like,
There's one problem with this movie. There's exactly one problem with it.
okay,
I have been on record as being someone who's like, look, if you don't have a great script, you can still make a great movie. I still firmly believe that. And
yeah,
I've
the
I've been
script.
very much I mean that's it. It's the script. I'm not going to build up to it anymore.
Yeah.
It's the writing. You know who wrote this?
No, I don't actually.
Josh Miller and Patrick Casey, the writers of such hits as Transylvania, National Lampoon Presents Dorm Days and Dorm Days 2, something called Hey Stop Stabbing Me.
Mhm.
Um,
These all sound really fun.
and their most recent hits, a film and its sequel that some people really like and some people really hate,
Mhm.
starring Jim Carrey,
Oh, the Sonic the
the
Hedgehog
Sonic
movies.
movies.
Okay. Yeah, other
And
movies where it's the script is the problem, really.
yeah,
Uh,
I still completely believe that
another
like a
a
film,
movie a movie where it's the script is the problem. The directing is fine, right? Like it gets
yeah,
the job done. I'm not gonna rave about it too much. The set pieces are all right, and it's elevated by one really good core
yeah.
performance.
Why is he so fucking good in those?
Yeah. Well, all right. No, here's the thing. All right. So when I say elevated by one core performance, what do you think I'm talking about?
I thought you meant Jim Carrey.
No, I do not.
Do
Terry is
you?
fine in them. I
Okay.
mean Ben
Oh,
Schwartz,
okay. Oh,
who
I
is
like him as Sonic
oddly
too.
who is oddly committed as Sonic the Hedgehog, even though it's just a voice. But like people undervalue voice actors. Like he makes that fucking movie. Like honestly, like I think it's him. Like whoever picked him to voice, it's the opposite of picking Chris Pratt for Mario. Like it fucking made the movie.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
So I'll see 7 more of those, even though I haven't liked any of them,
I
as long
think,
as he keeps doing the voices.
yeah, they're like 2.5 star movies.
Yeah,
Like,
they
yeah,
are. They're kind of that. Both
yeah.
times I've seen them were times where it's like I got nothing else. Like I think I was stuck. You know what? Sonic the Hedgehog 2 I saw because my flight got canceled, and I decided fuck it, I'm taking a train. But I had like 12 hours to kill,
Oh,
so I saw Sonic the Hedgehog 2. And yeah, was a movie that happened.
Yeah, but again, I still firmly believe that film is, a visual audio medium. You can create
What do
lasting.
you, what do you mean you believe film is a visual audio medium?
Well, it excels through that. That's why
But
I don't.
it's also what it is.
Yes, yes, yes.
It's not Santa Claus.
It's
You don't have to believe in it.
well, I think we do kind of have to believe in it once in a while.
I mean, I guess, but it's also
But
in touch.
you can excel with just those elements. Basically, you can create a completely sensory experience without like a sturdy screenplay.
Yeah.
However, sometimes you find the limitations of the medium when it just isn't really coming together on the page.
Yeah. Also, bad idea to shout out that you're just doing Die Hard with Santa Claus in your movie that is nowhere near as good as Die Hard.
Why do movies do this
Also,
so
like,
often?
yeah, like, oh, I wouldn't be able to put that one the fucking together. Like, of course you're doing Die Hard. You didn't need to even say it.
Yeah. But like, have you noticed that recently? Like, movies will call out other movies that they're inspired by or whatever, and it's like, no, I got that.
Well,
I'd rather be watching that.
it's people thinking this is how you're smarter than your audience, you know?
It's so
By
degrading.
referencing the reference they will also make, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you're gonna reference Die Hard, we beat you to it. Like, and it's like, no, fuck off. Like, I don't know, man. Could have been a really good movie, but instead it's just an okay movie.
I would still recommend it, honestly.
Sure.
Okay, I don't know. Well, one of the things that I really liked about it is David Harbour. We talked up a little bit at the beginning.
David Harbour is fantastic.
Yeah, he's fantastic. But I also think this kind of proves that like people like their action stars a little more burly now.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I saw some like fucking wild thirst tweets when this movie came out.
I mean, it's also, there's like people who are like thirsty for Santa though, right?
Oh yeah, everyone's all
Like,
fucked up. But
yeah.
like whatever, I'm not judging, I'm just saying. Like it's fine. But like people really like him.
Mhm.
And like he totally like commits to the action too. Like he's fucking putting in the work and he's when he's fucking dudes up, it's like really cool.
I also think it's this thing of like, I guess we're coming back to it, but people also like heroes that have no business being in the movie they're in, like
Yeah, completely.
there's no reason for Santa to be in this situation.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
You put him in it and it suddenly becomes really engaging. I mean, that's Die Hard. Like Bruce Willis, he just happened to be there. Wrong place, wrong time, right?
And like what's like maybe the most accessible thing about Bruce Willis? Like he is a traditionally like attractive man, but he's also like a normal looking guy. Like
Yeah.
he looks like a dude you could walk across and come across in the street. You know?
He's this happy medium between like he's a good looking action star, right? But he isn't like a super pretty boy type, right?
Yeah.
He's not like James Bond, but he's also not like jacked like Schwarzenegger or
Yeah.
Stallone. Like so, like he finds this nice happy middle ground, and yeah, it's something I don't know. Movies are weird where like it's such an obvious thing that people find appealing, and then studios are like, yeah, but no. Like, but I don't understand that.
But I do love that this movie exceeded like financial expectations too, because it's like maybe it just means more David Harbour movies, whatever. Like who knows, right? We always talk about Hollywood learns the wrong lesson, so maybe that's it. But if that's the wrong lesson this time, that's still a pretty good one.
Yeah. Or maybe this gets a sequel and they can kind of actually like do a good story next time.
I'd like that. Bring back Tommy Wirkola. Just get different dudes on the screenplay.
Yeah, I don't know why. Yeah, the screenplay is really it I don't want to say it's bad, but it kind of does the bare minimum,
Yeah, I mean that's it. Like, it feels kind of first drafty.
Yeah, it's very it feels like the thing we do before we start recording. Like, pitch a movie to each other and then we just kind of riff for a little bit. And be like, yeah, but wouldn't it be if this happened? And what if this happened? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
and it's super fun, but it's like that we're not ready to go.
Yeah, we're nowhere ready to go. And then like we're gonna try and write it and be like, what the fuck were we talking about? Like, It's like, this doesn't work at all.
Like, what's the
it's like-
Seinfeld joke where he wakes up in the middle of the night and then he laughs and he writes down what he's laughing at. Then he wakes up the next day and he's like, "What the fuck is this?"
Exactly. I mean, it's the thing of like, you maybe had the one good idea and then you took it too far, and then it's like, wait, let's scale it back. Because the one good idea in this is Die Hard but Santa,
Yeah.
And then there's no real other idea. Like, is there?
There might be one arguable one, and it's that this is completely sincerely committed to being a Christmas movie.
Yes, but that also feels like it's completely committed to being a Christmas movie, but it also has the tone of that guy who's like, do you know Die Hard's a Christmas movie?
A little bit, which kind of definitely rubs me the wrong way.
I don't feel like it went far enough with the Christmas stuff. Or the Santa stuff, really.
I think it could have gone further, but I didn't expect it to fully be like about the power of belief in the holiday.
Yeah.
So I think I give it credit for that. Like, it genuinely like believes that. I would agree that like everything else in the movie, it does need that extra push.
Yeah. I like the setup. It's actually a pretty good setup of they gave the kid the walkie-talkie to like be like, oh, hey, you can talk directly to Santa. He won't be able to respond. They're just trying to be nice to her.
Yeah.
And then Santa ends up accidentally hearing the other walkie-talkie. That was actually a pretty good setup. I didn't immediately see that paying off.
Yeah.
The way it did,
Mm-hmm.
It's like it takes Santa getting to the game room basement where I'm like, oh, okay, that's why that happened. And I'm like, that's kind of cool. And that relationship between the little girl and Santa is like the one that works.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Maybe you need a little bit more. And there also kind of was like they kind of wanted to. They jumped a little too quickly to Santa is a badass. In my opinion,
I kind of agree with that too. Not to get all we have no training, all that. I definitely don't want to veer into that, and I don't think you are either.
The angle I'm taking.
Yeah.
Like, to me, to go back to the Christmas Chronicles, it's why Christmas Chronicles 2 sucks so much. Because the best scene in Christmas Chronicles is that scene where he just goes into the restaurant and is like trying to be like, hey, remember me? And then they're like, no. It's like, well, I remember when you got this for Christmas. And they're like, how the fuck do you know that? And he's like, I'm Santa, damn it. Like that scene is best when he's just dropping Santa science on people. And I kind of wanted a little more of that from David Harbour. Like, he gives a good performance. I'm talking more in the writing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's more just like, they start him where he's kind of like he's drunk, belligerent Santa, right?
Yeah.
And he's like he's disillusioned Santa, which is a fine take. And then but he almost immediately starts fighting people when he gets to that place.
Yes.
I wanted Santa to maybe like not like not be a pacifist, but maybe try to find like a little more clever things to do, and then reveal himself to be a badass.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you maybe think, like, oh, he's just Santa. Like, what the fuck is he going to do? And then it turns out he could kick your ass. But, I don't know, it didn't... The escalation was a little too quick, I guess.
I'd agree with that.
I also wasn't, like, totally... I don't know, this is me. The disillusionment of Santa was a little off to me. I don't know, there's some of it was just a little, like... They didn't think out the Santa of it all too much. Like, what is the logic at play here?
Mm-hmm. What
does Santa being stuck in this one location mean? Right? Like, what does this mean for Christmas? Is there like a clock element where Santa's like, well, look, I gotta get going or else Christmas is ruined? Like,
yeah.
Is there, like, he's never had this problem where the reindeer ran away? Like, he's giving presents to Americans. Most Americans own guns. Like, he's never run into a problem like this before. But, yeah, I don't know. There's one really good scene where they capture him, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're just like, he's like, what do you... Santa, his whole thing is like, what do you want from me? I'm Santa. Like, And then they're like, why did you, what, like, you're bullshit, Santa. Why didn't I get that tricycle I wanted? And he was like, what do you mean, why didn't you get it? Like, you picked on your brother. That's naughty. Like, he's like, starts going off. Or he's like, it's all simple. Don't be naughty. Like, what's wrong with you people? It's like, I fucking believed in you and you did the wrong thing. That's like the best scene in the movie, in my opinion.
I think I'd agree with that.
But, the rest of it is, like, fine. There's some, like, oh, the kid's a TikToker, which is like, okay, I guess we're at that point with cinema.
Yeah, I expect much more of that in the coming years.
I did like the performance of the little girl and her parents. I like the parents, who is like they kind of suck.
Yeah. I kind of like that too.
The gag of like people trying to steal the money, like that was kind of fun. John Leguizamo's having a good time. He seems to like trying to give a character that doesn't really have a lot to him more,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But, hey, very okay movie. I wish I had more to say than that.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's as much fun as I had with it, and like I would still recommend people watch it. I think that's kind of the most indicting thing about it. Like,
And the other thing,
I can't really scrounge up more to say either.
I did see it 2 weeks ago, and I probably had more to say immediately after, but a lot of it has already left my brain. So, like, it wasn't that memorable,
Yeah.
There's some good violence in it.
Yeah. I had the violence described as crunchy to me recently, and
Yeah,
I'm like, that's a good way of putting
That's a
it.
pretty good way to put it.
Yeah. So yeah, if you want like a crunchy holiday themed action movie, you could do a lot worse. I would also say like, yeah, we could probably get better.
I mean, yeah,
also.
definitely do better.
And I think that's the thing too, because we were just hyping up like Dead Snow and stuff like that, and we like David Arbor. Like everyone here can do better. I think is the thing.
Yeah.
Even though
And also,
I like
it is
it.
one of those things where, like, if this movie had bombed, it's like, well, then that's it. Like, we're not going to get. There's no chance for another David Harbour Santa Claus action movie, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think we both came away from Violent Night going, like, that is still a good and viable idea.
Yeah.
We didn't walk away from this being like, we thought we wanted this, we got it, and then realized we didn't want it. Like, it's like, no, there's the pieces are here. They just didn't. They didn't take it far enough.
Yeah. I have exactly one pitch for the sequel, what it should be.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to send you an image right now over Twitter.
Okay.
So you can see what the next poster should be.
Okay. Hey.
Yes, and this will be on the thumbnail as well. This is what it should be on Santa Vacation.
Yeah. It's like Hi, I'm Troy McClure. You might remember me from Christmas Ape, and Christmas Ape goes to summer camp. I mean, yeah, what does Santa do on his day off,
Yeah. And then you could do Die Hard in a tropical setting.
What's the fake movie from the beginning of Scrooge? You remember this?
No.
Night the Reindeer Died?
No.
Just like an action movie where like terrorists attack the North Pole. And what's his name? Some fucking guy. The $6 million man shows up. And they're like, Santa, you have to get out of here. You're too important. He's like, nah, son, this is one Santa who's going out the front door. like him and the elves are getting fucking guns ready and shit. So yeah, maybe there's a siege at the North Pole.
Oh, yeah, you could do
Under
that.
siege, but with Santa.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
I always told you that's what my sequel to Suicide Squad would have been.
They have to save Santa?
Yeah, the Joker takes over Christmas. And so, like, the Suicide Squad has to learn the meaning of Christmas again.
I actually have a Christmas thing idea, but I'll tell you off
can I
because like
tell you-
I actually think it'll work.
Can I tell you? But like, yeah, but here's what I would actually do with the Suicide Squad. I'm just gonna tell you the ending because this would never happen.
Okay.
But Santa, like, he would help them all, like, they're Suicide Squad. They're all horrible people, but Santa would be like, yeah, but if you could still be good people, helps learn the meaning of Christmas. The final scene is a showdown between Santa and the Joker, and Santa just pulls out a gun and shoots the Joker in the face.
Why?
Because Santa's like, look, even I have limits. The whole movie's preaching pacifism, right? Like, the whole movie's like, no, Suicide Squad, you don't have to kill people. You could, maybe help them instead. And they're like, yeah, you're right, Santa. And then Santa gets in the pole and just shoots the Joker. So it's like the ending of Wizards.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that could work.
You see? Fuck pacifism. Hey, I watched Wendell and Wild.
Oh yeah, you want to talk about that?
Yes, holy shit, what a movie.
Okay, yeah, here. Thumbs up or thumbs down?
On Violent Night?
Yeah.
Thumb,
Like you're doing the gladiator half thumb.
Yeah, where I'm
Okay.
like, I'm not the side, and the whole crowd's just staring at me, but I ain't moving.
Okay.
But I think leaning positive, I guess. Because it's not really bad, it's just not good, Like,
Mm-hmm.
that's really the problem. But you know what is good is fucking Wendell and Wild. Which I'm mainly bringing up because we did Monkey Bone earlier this year. And we both walked out of Monkey Bone being like, what the flying fuck was that? Right?
Mm-hmm.
Wendell and Wild, also from Henry Selick. Also, we talked about it where it was like, because Dan Doherty, this is mainly my apology to Dan Doherty, right?
Right.
Dan Doherty's like, fucking, and also more fuck you to Chris Columbus. He was like, Chris Columbus fucked up Monkey Bone. There's like 15 minutes missing from Monkey Bone that would make it a better movie. And I think we both watched Monkey Bone and being like, I don't know if 15 minutes is going to do it. Like, where it's like, I don't know if that's... Wendell and Wild has the same kind of Monkey Bone insanity where it's just insane idea on top of insane idea and they're completely disconnected. And you're like, wait, we're 30 minutes into this movie and you're still introducing new concepts? Like, and I'm like, what is going on? There is a reveal. I won't spoil it, but there is a reveal, like, I want to say at the midpoint, that a character is supernatural, that we had no knowledge that they were supernatural before. And I'm like, really? Like, again? We're doing something? But Wendell and Wild, I don't know what it is, it totally works. And watching it convinced me that, yes, those 15 minutes on Monkey Bone might have saved it. Like, there is a method to the Henry Selick madness.
All right. Well,
And-
I'm looking forward to it. I really am looking forward to it, though. I'm excited as fuck to see
I'm
that
giving
movie
it
finally.
a rave 5 stars, which is the
Whoa.
highest anyone seems to be giving it. Because everyone
Yeah.
else is kind of getting the same reaction of like, it's a mess, but there's a lot of heart to it. And to me, it's like, it's a mess, but the mess is what makes it good.
Also, like, I love Henry Selick. This is not a criticism, but a lot of his stuff is kind of just like wild swings that he
Yeah.
he guides. I wouldn't say controls, but he guides to like, a sense of emotional catharsis or something.
Yeah, he understands. I mean, there's a lot of fun of just like the gags in it. He's like a very gag filmmaker,
Mhm.
Where it's like he set up the sequence and the sequence, but he's not like great at 3-act structures.
Yeah, and this is what I'll say again to kind of defend my own standing a little bit earlier from Violent Night. Like, that's a movie that at least has like structure, but it doesn't really do anything more than that to pay off, right? Like,
Yeah.
like that's we see the limits of just doing the basic rules to this kind of thing versus Wendell and Wild, it sounds like, which doesn't really have a great structure to it, but it's taken swings and it has like a purpose, and I think that goes a long way.
And you know what I will say also, like, I've seen less talk about this, but all the wild swings are thematically consistent. Like, I don't know why no one's really talked about that, but in Wendell and Wild, like, all of it is very, like, why, like, you could have, here's the thing, like, Wendell and Wild, right? You think the movie's going to be about Wendell and Wild, right?
Mm-hmm.
Wendell and Wild are, like, B players in a movie with 7 plots.
Oh, good.
And any one of those plots could have sustained their own movie.
Oh.
Right? And instead, it's like, let's do all of them. But they, like I said, they don't always connect like on a story level, but they are thematically consistent, and that's what I ended up really liking about it. But yeah, I can't recommend Wendell and Wild more. I think it's being totally undersold by people.
Okay.
And it's just Henry Selig's fucking back, baby. Like,
All right.
And it's weird. It's been like over a decade since Coraline. And
oh my god! You know what I just realized? The same amount of time has passed between the last James Cameron movie as the last Henry Selick movie.
Yeah. Wow.
The boys are back in town.
The boys are back. But hey, Wendell Wild is gonna fucking be better than Avatar, though. I don't see many movies being better than Wendell and Wild.
Oh, I don't know, man. I don't know. It's so good.
I mean, yeah, but you like everything, so I can't trust you.
Yeah, but like this is an
like
overwhelming
Prey,
rave.
which was a bad movie.
No, don't do that. No, the people are with me. The people are with me on this one.
Yeah, the people are also with Joe Biden. That doesn't mean shit.
I don't know if they're with him as much as they're like, it's got nothing else going on.
Yeah, that's every review of Prey.
No, it's not. It's a good movie.
Yeah, people know dick.
I mean, that's the thing. I will agree with that, but I don't. Who the fuck is calling me? I don't. Sorry, I'm recording on my laptop, and so my laptop is connected to my phone because it's all this Apple bullshit. So if I get a call, it just like fucking slams right into the recording. See, I'm doing the modern movie thing. If something goes wrong, you just call it out before the people can call you out.
Can you believe my phone's ringing?
I'm gonna kill myself.
Yeah, that would be pretty good. Hey kids, can you believe? Boom!
Here you go. Here's another holiday recommendation. Did you ever see the show Misfits?
You know what? I haven't. I've heard good things about it, though.
I do not know if it holds up. I cannot say if it holds up or not, but that was a big show during the Tumblr Doctor Who era.
Yeah.
And that was a big show for me. There's a Christmas special episode that I remember thinking was repulsive and very funny.
Well,
so there you go. Check it out. See if it holds up to older Diego standards from young Diego.
Here's something I gotta tell you people though. Fucking Wendell and Wild has not cracked the top. You know, like when you click on the year on Letterboxd.
Yeah.
Like list the like movies most people are watching. It has not cracked that.
Huh.
Bullet Train is on there. Fucking Lightyear is on there.
Jesus Christ.
Fucking Chip and Dale is on there. But no Wendell and Wild. Fucking people, get your shit together.
I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah, it's very fucking good.
I will report back when we record
Objectively
the
the
Avatar
wrong
2.
way to write a movie. But it's a good movie. It works. I don't know what the fuck to tell you. Like, I also want to just put this up as just evidence that I'm not 100% a structure guy. Like, I tend to talk more structure than you do on this show, but there are movies where I'm like, fuck structure. Like, just fucking have fun with it, motherfucker. But
this is why you might like Avatar 2 more.
Hey, I'm looking forward to it. I mean, but, I can't trust you.
Well. We'll see. I might have the last laugh here.
I also saw Pinocchio. Did you see Pinocchio yet?
I have not seen Pinocchio yet.
That's also very good.
Yeah.
That's the one people are kind of like really like, talking about, and it's very good. I might put Wendell and Wild above Pinocchio.
Whoa.
Yeah, that might be my wild choice. I am thinking about this year though, just like because you got Pinocchio, Wet n Wild, and Mad God are all this year.
Mm-hmm.
So I might just like for my top 10, my number one just might be stop motion, like because like we just three banger stop motion movies this year.
That's pretty good. I'm not saying it's better than any of the ones you listed. But did you ever see Turning Red?
No, I have not yet.
Okay,
I've still heard. I've heard good things. I just haven't bothered.
okay.
I
If you
want to
have
watch it.
time to watch it before the end of the year, I think you're really gonna like it.
I think I'll like it. It's not going to beat those movies though.
Yeah. I'm saying less about it being competition, more than just like
Mhm.
it's been a really great year for animation, and I think it's been a really great year
Not
for
really.
movies. No,
Not
you don't
really.
think so?
Well, we got Lightyear.
Oh, fuck.
We got
I
Minions.
mean that alone.
We got Chippendale. We got the fucking one that just bombed. I can't even remember the fucking title of
Oh,
it.
Strange Worlds. Well,
Yeah.
I'm gonna watch it on Disney Plus
Yeah.
because it seems like my type of movie.
There's something else. We got that Puss in Boots movie coming out in like a week.
That Puss in Boots movie is supposed to be really good.
Yeah, but those people are liars.
I don't know.
It feels like this. Honestly, this felt like a really weak year for animation, but stop motion was fucking cleaning up.
Mm.
So that's where I was like, oh, that's kind of interesting. But like the bigger guys have been like striking out,
Mm-hmm.
and then you got did Turning Red make money?
It wasn't released in theaters,
Oh, okay.
so no.
Okay.
Yeah, they fucked it. The return to theaters for Pixar was Lightyear,
Yeah,
and even the Pixar people were like, "What?
Mhm.
That one?"
Who is making the decisions? I guess that guy's gone now.
Yeah.
Um, the bad guys. Remember the bad guys? That was this year.
I haven't seen it yet. Mark Maron plays a snake in that.
Yeah, there was like I think it was one of those ones where like people were excited because the animation looked different, and then it came out and people were like, it's okay.
Yeah. I mean, it was like a hit.
Hotel Transylvania 4, the one without Adam Sandler.
Oh yeah, so we don't have to talk about it.
Yeah, thank fucking
Also without Adam Sandler, but also without Genndy Tartakovsky as director.
Oh yeah, that's actually more important.
Yeah, that's where I'm like, gosh, I have no interest now.
Yeah, who let that happen?
Yeah. Oh, this is why I said it was a good year for animation. I saw fucking Primal. Genndy Tartakovsky's Primal.
Yeah, but that's on TV.
Yeah, but it's so fucking good.
It is good. We're talking about movies. The other one released in theaters this year was Luck, John Lasseter's big comeback,
Oh.
which I think is on Apple TV.
Yeah, I have to see that every time I fucking log in. It's disturbing.
Kind of amazing that it's apparently just terrible.
Yeah.
But there's a review on Letterboxd that says fun little kids movie, and then even they only gave it 2.5 stars. So they were like, yeah, this is fun, 2.5 stars. Not fun enough, but hey. There was a new Ice Age.
What?
Yeah. The only person who's seen it is Dan Doherty, who gave it 0.5 star.
Oh.
So
Sorry, Dan.
is Ray Romano even in it? Looks like Ray Romano's not even in this one.
Oh, then it's a disgrace.
Oh, it's just Buck Wild,
Mm.
Simon Pegg's character.
Oh.
So, hey, good job, idiots. Yeah, this hasn't been a great year for animation, in my opinion, except stop motion. Like I said, where it's like, that's cleaning up. So,
Yeah, I'm looking at my top of 2022, and I think I really am just clinging on to Turning Red and Mad God then.
okay.
Oh, you know what? I like The Sea Beast on Netflix.
Oh, I have not seen that.
You'll like it. There's great like blockbuster filmmaking in it, like
Okay.
on an animation level.
Hey, it's the person who did Big Hero 6.
It's better than Big Hero 6 by like a lot.
Okay, I like Big Hero 6 a lot. honestly.
I'm good.
Even though it's like, it's one of those where like, I kind of just like the robot. I don't really like the team in it.
Yeah, the
Like,
team is so like slapdash in that movie.
Yeah, that's
and I like those. I like the characters and I like the actors. It's just that's a structure thing.
yeah, it's a
that-
structure.
that doesn't
I
work
think
for
the
me.
robot at the heart of it is what works. Like that part.
Oh, completely.
So that like overrides a lot of the other complaints I have.
Yeah. Oh, I like the Bob's Burgers movie. Not great, but I liked it. It was sweet.
Yeah. Did that bomb? I'm assuming that.
It bombed. Yeah, it bombed
Yeah.
big time.
I mean, I feel like that was never gonna do well. No offense, to Bob's Burgers. Like, it's a great show, but
Yeah, Gene and I ran into a buddy who works on the show, like in a certain department, and they were like, one of the fears from the company was that it doesn't have the Simpsons level of like public notoriety. Like it's super popular online. That's kind of kept it alive.
Yeah.
And I love Bob's Burgers, but like that Simpsons caliber notoriety is so rare that like the leap from television to movies now. Have you noticed like whenever people try that in the last decade, it hasn't really worked, or like the last 2 decades really, apart from The Simpsons.
Yeah.
And there's always talk of like, oh, this popular TV show, should it get like a movie finale? Should they go to movies now? And it's like, no, probably not.
Yeah, television and movies are so much like they're so similar at this point. Like there's no real point to do the theatrical thing.
Yeah. If I was God Emperor of Netflix, what I would do is like whenever someone has an idea for that and there's like a genuine property that could sustain that momentum, maybe do like a season of this television show and then do like a movie to cover a certain time period and have someone else do the movie while you do the television show, and then you kind of like bounce around like that if you want to make like a shared universe concept of some kind or something.
Yeah. Tales of
But I'm
the
just
Jedi is
spitballing.
out.
Yes.
I didn't even know that. I thought it was.
I saw the one with Yaddle because I was like, oh, Yaddle, that's cool. I've never seen anything with Yaddle.
Finally, Yaddle's back.
Yeah. Voiced by Bryce Dallas Howard. And I was like, oh, that's cool.
What?
Yeah.
What?
And so, yeah, you didn't know this?
No, I did not know this. Here's a question though. Does she talk like
Nope.
Yoda? She doesn't.
Nope, so Yoda's just doing a bit.
Okay. Well, I was wondering about the fucking child, right? Whatever his name is. I don't even fucking know.
Baby Yoda, no one gives a shit about the name.
Because I was like, well, when he grows up, because clearly I think what's going to happen is the obvious, and I'm not even complaining, I think the obvious thing is that whenever they do another movie, it's going to have an older version of the child in it, right? Like if they do something after the sequels, it's going to be like, oh, we have to go find this other Jedi, and it's like him,
Mm-hmm.
I was like, is he going to talk like Yoda, or is he going to talk normal? And I guess the answer is normal.
This might be a free idea that will make $1 bajillion.
Mm-hmm.
The poster for Star Wars Episode 10 is Rey looking out into the star systems, right? Over a hill, whatever. And on her back is Baby Yoda. $10 billion.
Yeah, maybe. That's not a bad idea.
The Baby Yoda on a movie poster would fucking crush alone. People will turn around on the sequels in a positive way, and then that would work.
Baby Yoda at that point, though, right?
Well, all Yodas are babies. That's the thing.
Yeah, I guess, but like, I just I think that will be the move. Is that they're going to set up this Baby Yoda as being like this character they can kind of just keep bringing back,
Mm-hmm.
And I would honestly, that would be my move too. I mean, it makes sense from a marketing perspective.
Yep.
And also that character is such a nothing right now that you can actually make him interesting.
I know. I mean, maybe that's the genius of Jon Favreau.
Yeah. As long as he doesn't go too far. Like, I really hope he doesn't go too much into, like, here's what Luke Skywalker was doing.
Yeah, yeah. Like, dude, leave some ambiguity. That's like the beauty of the best Star Wars movies.
Yeah, but they'll fuck it up. They always fuck it up. Fuck Star Wars. Fuck movies.
Well, there's a Star Wars holiday special.
Oh, yeah, remember that?
We can talk about that at some point again.
No, we're never talking about that.
It's so fucking funny.
Did you see the Guardians holiday special?
I did. I liked it. It's a little long, but I liked it.
What a fucking boring, wet fart of a movie.
Oh, well, you're burnt out right now, though. So everything is worse than it seems.
Like, no one looked like everyone in the movie looked burnt out.
I don't know. I thought Mantis and Drax were really good. Dave Bautista and what's her name? Whose name I forget regularly.
I'm not helping you here. But, yeah, but Chris Pratt definitely didn't look like he wanted to be there.
Well, he doesn't look like he wants to be anywhere anymore, except for church.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Probably the next governor of California or some shit.
Oh, please don't.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but that's probably what's going to happen. Then people are like, how can you criticize him? He was Star-Lord. And it's like, yeah, but what does he think about abortion? Go fuck yourself, you dumb fucking people. Yeah. The new Groot looked weird. I'll be honest.
Oh yeah, Swole Groot.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I don't know. That was one of those where like my family put it on, and I said I liked it because I didn't want to upset my family. But like, man, wow. And then although I have yet to actually watch the Guardians 3 trailer.
I'm gonna link you the IMAX trailer, only because it's actually shot like with IMAX cameras, and
Well,
I'm not
look,
saying it's like whoa some genius thing. I think he does frame differently though, and I'm willing to bet he fought for that wider aspect ratio, and they were like, no, all the Marvel stuff is just CinemaScope now.
that's cool, but like I'll just wait because I am going to see Avatar soon. So
It's not in front of the movie.
who the fuck made that decision?
Ant-Man is in front of the movie.
Yeah, fucking moron.
Didn't you see my fucking tweet where I was like, the fucking Ant-Man trailer is just fucking dire?
I thought people were saying that both of them were in front of it though.
I did not get both. I didn't even get Barbie though. People got Barbie. I didn't get fucking Barbie.
Mm-hmm.
They're holding out on me and shit. Sorry, I like that trailer.
What does Nolan have though, where his trailers are always before the big IMAX release?
Well, he's like the IMAX guy. He's the reason IMAX is like a household name now.
I get that, but like, did he make a deal somewhere? Like,
I mean, he probably did. I mean, he works hand in hand with the IMAX guys like since Dark Knight, basically.
Okay.
Like, hey, this is what I want to do. How can we do this easier?
it's funny because I don't think I've actually ever seen a Nolan movie in IMAX.
Really? Oh man,
Yeah.
Dunkirk was a fucking treat.
Yeah, but I don't get a lot of those around me. Like,
Oh right.
I got Limax, and then like the 70mm stuff is like a little further out. So
Yeah, I've never seen one of his on 70mm.
Mhm.
So maybe I'll do that for Oppenheimer.
Yeah, maybe Oppenheimer because people seem to be like losing their fucking shit over that movie already.
Yeah, the official trailer that they released is kind of lame. The one I got in front of IMAX makes it look like a fucking horror movie, and I'm like, yeah, that's probably the tone you should do for that.
I actually like the one they did in front of Nope too.
Yeah, I like that one.
The countdown they just keep doing.
Mm-hmm.
So
With Robert Downey Jr. looking like he's giving a real performance again.
that's who that was.
That he does the voice in that one, like the man who moved the earth. That's
Oh
him.
my god, I did not know he was in it. I'm not paying attention.
Like everyone in Hollywood's fucking in
I
that
know a lot
movie.
of isn't
It's
like
fucking
Josh
wild.
Peck in it. Like
Yeah.
yeah, Josh Peck, one of the Safdies, like Jack Quaid. I read the
Jack Quaid's in. I didn't know Jack Quaid was in it.
Yeah, Jack Quaid's in it. Oh, you didn't see he was on because Jack Quaid. Did you see that he went on Red Letter Media?
Yeah, I did. You told me to avoid that until after Scream. So.
Oh yeah. Oh, you can watch it now.
Well, I did watch it finally. Yeah.
Okay, but like the whole gag in it was that like they're like you're gonna go work with Christopher Nolan after this, and they keep trying to be like I got a script I want you to show Christopher Nolan, and it's like the worst script ever. Like that was the gag. But hey, Alex Wolff is in it. Wow. Oh no, Casey Affleck's in it.
Oh.
Oh, I guess everyone in Hollywood really is in it. But hey, Brano's back.
Oh, is he? I didn't know that.
Maybe Casey Affleck is guy accidentally killed by nuclear bomb.
Oh, maybe.
I read that book that Nolan is adapting like a decade ago. It was a fucking Christmas gift.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, that was where my mind was at back then.
Oh, good.
I was like, what do you want for Christmas,
is it
Dad?
like interesting or is it like we?
Oppenheimer's a fascinating guy, but he was like really fucked up. Like
Yeah.
it's one of those. It is one of those where I'm like, I can't believe this is the movie Universal's putting out.
I know, and they're giving it like the fucking rollout.
Yeah, and it's like really grim stuff. Like,
Well, I think that's why I don't like the newer trailer I saw that wasn't in IMAX because it was like it kind of makes it look like a lot of like hard men making hard decisions type movie.
okay,
And the other trailer I saw, That one feels more accurate to what an Oppenheimer movie should be, which is grim, despair, horrifying event.
Yeah. So maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see what Nolan does with it.
Hmm.
Um, hey,
Maybe Kenneth Branagh plays the same character as he did in Tenet.
yeah, whatever the fuck that guy's deal was.
The Bond villain number 3,
Yeah.
which is why he ruled.
All right, explain to me again, what is happening in the end of Tenet?
Oh, it's the guys from the future are stopping our teams from inverting them in the past and present so they can destroy all of time.
Why?
Because Kenneth Branagh's character has enough money and resources to decide the fate of the universe, basically. And and then John David Washington is revealed to have recruited Robert Pattinson's character in the future.
I remember that. I get
who
all
goes
that.
back in time.
I just have
recruit
no
him.
idea in that one scene other than the building explodes backwards, and that's kind of cool.
Oh yeah, it's super cool. It's so cool they do that a bunch of times, and I'm like, yeah, that's so fucking cool. I'm sorry, I'm a simple man.
It says here that the antagonists are trying to escape the effects of climate change in the future.
Yes, that is referenced at one point.
So, like, are they just trying to escape it, or are they...
They are trying to escape it. The villain of the film, Kenneth
wants
Branagh.
all of reality.
Yes, that's what he wants.
Because why not?
Well, because if he can't have it, no one can.
Is our protagonist trying to stop climate change?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Not 100%.
Because I don't remember that really being a thing.
No, he's trying to stop the people from stopping climate change. Because it's a temporal pincer movement. It's a classic temporal pincer movement.
Right. Right.
Mm-hmm.
I have no idea what the fuck's going on in that movie. I like when the car drove backwards, though.
Yeah, that was super cool.
It was
You know what was like I think it's a ridiculous fucking movie, but I do love it. But the one part where I was genuinely like wowed, and this is really stupid and simple, is when the car blows up, but it becomes ice because everything is a polar opposite effect. So it's literally a polar opposite effect in that one sequence. And I don't know why, but I thought that was the coolest fucking thing I've ever seen. That's the last movie he ever makes with Warner Brothers.
Yeah, that's interesting that's what's happening there.
Yeah.
Gary Oldman is Harry S. Truman in Oppenheimer.
Whoa. Did not know that.
Unnamed guy is playing Enrico Fermi, the architect of the nuclear age. The creator of the Fermi paradox.
Christopher Nolan should work with David Arbor.
Fuck no, but...
What? Why not?
I mean, I don't know. I'm just fucking with you.
He should be in Tenet too.
I'm just kind of like... There's just part of me that's like, what the fuck is he gonna do with the Oppenheimer thing?
Oh yeah, I have no idea.
It's just like, I'm just like, what? Also, it is weird that Robert Downey Jr. is like, okay, this is the first real movie I'm gonna do in like forever.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
well, you know why, right?
Why?
Apart from, he hasn't like vocally been anti-Marvel since he's done with them, but he has said that like
it took up much of his time.
It took up a lot of time, but he also, I think it was an interview for like GQ. People were being interviewed about Tom Holland for a Tom Holland profile, and Robert Downey Jr. was saying that like, you know, when you're in it, it feels like this is everything. This is the life. But then you step outside and you realize there's so much more. Just make sure you get the opportunity to do that too. And I was like, that's a very telling remark from the man who's been Iron Man since 2008. And then he did Doolittle.
Yeah.
So he's probably like, let me take a step back here. let me be an instrument for other people again. which is what actors are, and that's a good thing in my
Yeah.
opinion.
It was weird where like he had a moment where it felt like he had a shit ton of power, you know?
Hmm.
And it's like you Doolittle is what you do,
Yeah,
like
yeah. Immediately just kind of fucked it up.
yeah. And like there was a couple stuff because like Iron Man he got like a second win because there's Iron Man and Tropic Thunder same year, right?
Hmm.
And he gets the Academy Award nomination for Tropic Thunder, which is an insane thing to think about. And then it's like he does the Soloist. Remember that?
Oh yeah.
And in there somewhere he does Due Date, the Todd Phillips movie.
Hmm.
And then he did Sherlock Holmes as well, so that was like his other franchise. And then he's just in Marvel country for a while. He does The Judge, which he also produced. And it's like that was it.
Yeah.
And
Well, that's why Iron Man 3 and Age of Ultron both end with him leaving.
mhm.
Is because you can kind of feel him try to feel out, like, let me start doing like real movies on the side, and he just can't. He can't hit the nail on the head with stuff like The Judge, which is a bad movie,
Judge was a bad
unfortunately.
movie. He was almost in Inherent Vice. Do you remember this?
What? No, I did not know that.
He was like hanging with PTA. This is all right. Here's an insane thing that really happened. He was hanging with PTA. I don't remember if he was supposed to be the Joaquin Phoenix role in it. I don't totally remember, but he was the Robert Downey Jr. was supposed to be the lead. He had just dropped out of Oz the Great and Powerful, where he was going to be Oz, which kind of feels like it was written for Downey Jr. in a lot of ways.
Mm-hmm.
He was going to do that. That doesn't work out, but him and PTA are still talking. Downey Jr. at this time, he's doing Marvel. He's in the Disney thing. He wants to do Pinocchio. Do you remember this?
I do remember that.
He wanted to do Pinocchio. I think the idea was he was going to play Geppetto, but then he was going to motion capture Pinocchio. I think was the idea, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's developing it forever, can't get it done. At some point, he talks the executives into meeting with Paul Thomas Anderson to possibly do Pinocchio. And Paul Thomas Anderson took the meeting, and like there was at least a minute where they thought they might do it. So like we almost got like a big budget PTA Pinocchio movie.
Goddamn.
And then in the year 2020, we get two different Pinocchio movies. One about as lame as you could possibly do, and the other by Guillermo del Toro, which is about fascism. So weird. There are like seven Downey Jr. projects like in that period where it's like that sounds exactly like something Robert Downey Jr. should do, and then it just didn't happen.
Yep.
But hey, maybe now he'll do like it would be fun to see him kind of like do. It's weird. You said that was his voice in the Oppenheimer. I'm surprised he wasn't front and center in it. It feels like he's a guy you'd want to put front and center because he still kind of has that people want to see what he's up to energy.
Yeah.
Not enough to go see Doolittle, but enough to pay attention.
Yeah. I think his like career will be like supporting role character actor for a little bit, and I don't think that's a bad thing. I mean,
It's not bad at all.
He's a fucking terrific actor, you know, like he can do that. I think he's also working with Shane Black on some Amazon thing now.
It'd be great for him to get back in the Shane Black thing.
Yeah.
Because you know, Iron Man 3 didn't exactly go as well as they wanted.
Like it did, but not like on the internet.
Well, no. Iron Man 3 is the best Iron Man movie, but also it would have been a genuinely great movie had they been allowed to do what they wanted to do.
Oh, yeah. Well, you know what they're working together on next, right?
No.
It's a series of Parker film and television projects. Parker, I guess, is like some like pulpy crime novel thing.
Okay.
I never read it.
I don't know about that either.
But Shane Black, ever the fucking soldier, brings back the original title from Lethal Weapon 2, Play Dirty.
All right.
And that's going to be the name of the film.
Right on.
So he's fucking doing it.
That's pretty cool.
He's been trying to make that movie for like years, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's about Parker, a professional thief who approaches his job with a straightforward, no-nonsense work ethic. A craftsman, brutal, brilliant, deadly, does whatever it takes to get the money and get away clean. So they're keeping it like vague so Shane Black can make a Shane Black movie,
Don't
I
stretch
guess.
yourself too much, Shane Black.
I know. Hey, what he does, no one's better at it than he is.
Yeah. It was weird. I rewatched Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, and it is weird that, like, because of Robert Downey Jr.'s kind of, like, riffing nature, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, a lot of the vibe of Kiss Kiss Bang Bang got carried over into the MCU, and we've just been getting, like, 20 years of, like, worse versions of Kiss Kiss Bang Bang dialogue. Like, and it's kind of like, it's unfortunately kind of, I think, affected Kiss Kiss Bang Bang negatively. In retrospect, I don't hold it against the movie, but I could see how, if you're coming to it now, it might not hold up as well.
I can see that a little bit, yeah.
Nice Guys, though, genuinely great.
Yeah, that's a great Christmas movie too. There you go. We're bringing it back home to
We're bringing it.
Violent Night Christmas movie. Matt, good job. We did it.
We did it.
Merry Christmas.
It's weird that there were 2 movies about the catalytic converter in, like, recent years.
Are you referencing that because of the Christmas comparisons?
No, because The Nice Guys and No Sudden Move
Oh yeah.
are both about catalytic converters.
Yeah, that's right.
Did fucking Steven Soderbergh just think he could get away with it because he's like, no one saw The Nice Guys?
Aww, maybe.
I mean, you know, it's
David Harbour was in that too. Not Nice Guys, but No Sudden Move. And David Harbour would be a great Shane Black protagonist.
He would actually, yeah. Are they gonna do another whatever the fuck that character Don Cheadle's character was? No Sudden Moves. Like that seems like a franchise.
It does, but I think because of the HBO Max shifting and stuff,
HBO,
I don't know
right.
anymore. Yeah.
All right.
Because that was not a theatrical release; that was an HBO Max release.
Yeah.
So.
You know who's great in that?
Brendan Fraser.
Fuck yeah.
He's so fucking good.
So,
Everyone's great in that movie.
It is. That is one of those where like it's just a stacked cast.
Mm-hmm.
You get fucking Bill Duke just rolling up in the third act, like.
Yeah. God, that's a great movie.
Yeah, it was really good. I really liked that. Was the one where I was like, because I'm always like, I'm a little more lukewarm on fucking Soderbergh than most people.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the one where I was like, oh, fuck yeah, this was great. And that was the one that felt like people were kind of like, I don't know, it doesn't really work.
That's fucking wild to me.
Yeah.
That's a great movie.
I don't know, man. I don't know what people, no offense. I don't know what everyone really sees in Soderbergh. But other than he's like incredibly competent as a filmmaker. But
I think he's just an alien robot machine sent from the future to teach us how to make movies.
There is no director like that.
It's him.
There is no director like that. He just works hard. But yeah, I'm looking at people who are kind of like, I don't know.
No, you know what it is? It's stylistically, it's not like in your face how weird it is, but it also is. Like he went out of his way to find like those old vintage lenses, like not the same ones as the Batman, but enough to be like to kind of call out attention to like I'm doing something much more old fashioned.
Yeah,
and like I think people didn't like that. He does
a very, but like I think all his movies, he has a very like light touch stylism to him. You know?
Yeah, I mean he has a big like the Ocean's movies, like they're super fun, but they're also like stylistically like engaging. But I guess because they're like heist movies, you can kind of do more stylism stuff without people getting annoyed by it. Versus like other movies that try to be stylistic, and whether or not I like them, a lot of people don't really respond to stylistic like antagonism very well.
Yeah, but you know what though, I still think like the Ocean's movies are definitely stylized, but they're not like they really aren't that big, you know? Like,
no, they're not. They're not.
And I would say that about most of his movies, which is what I kind of like.
Mm-hmm.
It's the scripts I'm not always a fan of, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And it's one of those where like I like reading of people like where they go like, here's why fucking High Flying Bird was amazing because it was shot on an iPhone or whatever. And it's like, yeah, that is really interesting. You know, the movie was all right. Like,
yeah, I like that movie. That's the one where I'm like, I don't know why it was shot on an iPhone.
Yeah. I mean, hey, if that's how you want to shoot it, you know.
Yeah, sure. I just to me it's like, all right, you got to match like the style and form with like the story context. Mm-hmm. And I don't feel that marriage with that film. is all. Versus No Sudden Move, which has like these wildly distorted edges because there's the fucking camera lenses, the angles are so wide that like our perception and views and understanding of the image literally are distorted, much like the perception and views of the characters in the film are distorted. Huh?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
It's a good movie.
It's a fine movie.
Violent Night 2 should have wildly distorted lenses.
You know what wasn't good was The Laundromat.
No one saw that. It's fine. We just forget that one happened. I'm not watching that. Go with God, I guess.
Also, I don't like Traffic.
I like Traffic.
Traffic's not very good.
This is the last thing, and then we will stop because we're talking way longer than the actual runtime of the movie that's in the title of this episode. But I always think it's funny that, like, when Soderbergh was being interviewed by someone, and they were like, "Oh man, how did you do like Trafficked and then Che? Like, what? Like, how did you even like organize something like Traffic? Like, because stylistically or whatever?" And he was like, "Oh yeah, that movie was super easy to like put together." And like, really? He's like, "Oh yeah, but Che was like a nightmare."
Mm-hmm.
He's like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "Oh my god, you don't even." No, it was Oceans. I think he was talking about. Because he was like, you have to like, for a heist movie, there's so many like pieces, like it has to operate like a Swiss watch, basically.
Yeah.
Everything has to fit together, or the audience is going to destroy you.
Yeah.
Versus Trafficked, which is like, it's just a pretty sturdy script, but I just kind of, you kind of highlight the color palette like through the characters, like that's easy. But Oceans was like a big budget like Hollywood movie, and that's like scary.
I think what you just said explains why I'm a little lukewarm on Soderbergh.
Oh, okay.
And I'll just leave it at that.
All right.
But Violent Night.
Violent Night. Steven Soderbergh's Violent Night 2.
Yeah. He almost did Moneyball.
I know.
Didn't like Moneyball falling apart like led him to like his first retirement, basically?
Yeah.
Where he was like, you know what though? Fucking the Moneyball we got is better than what he would have done.
I don't know about that, but it's a great movie.
No, because Moneyball's like a masterpiece. Bennett Miller's super underrated.
He is. I don't know if I'd call it a masterpiece, but it's a great movie.
Masterpiece of film. He made statistics fun. That's fucking impossible.
You know, I'm someone who's terrible at math. Statistics are fine for me. Hey, what is Bennett Miller up to?
I don't know. It's been like 7 years or something since Foxcatcher.
That's fucking wild.
Which is another great movie, but people were like confused by it because it wasn't like salacious, I guess. I don't fucking know. He did Capote. Remember Capote?
I never saw Capote, but I like Moneyball a lot.
Capote's great, and people kind of make fun of it now because it's like Philip Seymour Hoffman did a weird voice and won an Oscar, but it's like much more than that.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, Bennett Miller, great director.
Yeah, go watch Moneyball, everyone.
Yeah. Not a Christmas movie at all.
No. I'm gonna put in the title, Violent Night and other stuff we were interested into.
Just do a picture of just everything we talked about.
Oh God! So it's like Violent Night in the corner, and then like everything else around it.
We talked about everything, but not everything everywhere all at once.
No. Good movie.
A movie no one has any strong feelings about.
No. Shout out Stephanie Sue, who won the Variety Breakout Actress of the Year, I think. Yeah, great performance, great actress. Weird that she's not getting the Best Supporting Actor love this year.
Hey, you know what else is weird? We're supposed to like the main character of this movie, but they're lying to the IRS.
No, we're not going down this fucking road.
Just do that. You can't
No.
do that.
I have strayed away from all discourse about this movie.
You can't have a protagonist do that. What?
I love it. I'll say it's in my top 5 of the year.
You don't want to pay.
And that's all I need. People are being incredibly strange about this film.
Very weird about that movie. On that, I hate to do this. It is one of those people are being incredibly weird on both sides. Like
completely.
It is one of those like it's the people are like they hate they're like finding an excuse to get mad at everything about it, and then people who like it are like trying to kill anyone who dissents in opinion. So
Yeah, it's like they saw this is the last thing that we really will end. They saw like He Hu Kwan's like a fucking incredible performance where he's like, and we have to be kind, and they're like, that's right, Short Round. I will kill anyone who stands in my way. Yeah, he should also get nominated this year.
Everything Everywhere All at Once is a lot like Steven Universe when you think about it.
Oh, we're not
Now, if
even
I could
drudging
talk
that
for
up.
another 6 hours
Nope.
about this.
Hey, here's the thing. I have not seen that last season of the show yet.
It's good.
I bet. I just I caught up with the movie and everything before it, and I've been kind of putting it off because I like it so much.
I don't think you understand. If you think the redemption arcs in Steven Universe are okay, though, that means you support the Nazis. People are real calm and chill about children's cartoons online.
Oh yeah. No, you know what amplified all that too? Is that we ended up all getting locked inside for like a year.
We got locked inside, and all we could do was watch the world fall apart, and then we had to find someone to blame, and some people chose children's cartoons.
You know what? This is why Halloween Ends is fucking brilliant. Because it's like, what happens when you don't have something immediately to direct your anger and frustrations towards? You take it out on each other.
Yeah.
That's a 5-star movie. Matt, thank you for joining me today. We'll be back to talk about Avatar 2. I genuinely hope you'll like it, but we'll see.
I hope I like it as well.
Yeah.
But I am keeping myself, I'm trying to keep myself, level, because I don't want to go in hyped, because then, if it doesn't live up to that, I'm just going to come on the show and be a dick.
Yeah.
And, I want to like it. There's no part of me that doesn't want to like it. But it also, you were right, the hurdles the stuff I brought up about the first Avatar that I didn't like are some pretty big hurdles for me.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think it handled that better?
I think I can defend it better.
That is not a reassuring comment coming from you. Oh, well, you feel like you can defend it better. Okay.
I feel like I'll give away too much of my take. Oh no, it's gonna be positive. I get that, but I actually have a kind of a silver bullet in my back pocket that I don't want to give away yet.
You said that about the first one though, and that didn't work either.
I didn't say silver bullet.
You were like, man, you were texting me Diego was talking a big fucking game over text messages. I want you to know this, people. I mean, I think I got it with Avatar. Once I throw this take out there, and then I was like, Moo's kind of racist, and then you had nothing. So I don't know what you think a silver bullet is.
Okay, maybe not silver bullet, but something to at least massage the criticisms. There you go.
Might have a funhouse mirror.
Maybe. Maybe.
Oh, hey, that does look kind of interesting. Well, anyway.
All right, Matt. Thanks for joining me. Where can the people find you?
I don't fucking know right now.
Yeah, I'll keep all links down below as to what they were. We will see how things go. It's great news for us that our primary audience comes from Twitter, and now Twitter's like, yeah, we probably won't let you guys share links anymore. So yeah. I'm like, all right.
They said they were going to reverse it, but I don't know if they reversed it. And
everything's just fucking up in the air until Sweet Mom Bus dies or something.
Well, no, something's going to happen to the site, and then Musk is going to be like, I tried to save it, as he's stabbing it to death. It's straight up the Who Killed Hannibal meme. It's just Musk shoot. Every day, Musk unloads a full clip into Twitter. And then when it's finally dead, he's going to be like, who killed Twitter? But
we're all trying to find the guy who did this and give him a spanking.
Yeah, exactly.
It's that meme.
It's going to be, I'm not saying anyone in particular is responsible, but it's somehow the trans community.
That's what he's going to say?
That's what the move will be. It's the woke disease or whatever the fuck he's been saying.
The moment he takes a picture with J.K. Rowling.
Yeah, he's learned the exact language to rip those fucking people off. So he's grifting you. I'm just saying, he's grifting you.
No. Yeah, we'll be back. Merry Christmas. This
Fuck
was
Christmas.
a
Fuck Hollywood.
no. This was a mess. But Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays and all that shit.
I don't give a fuck.
Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa. I'm sorry, I don't know
Bullshit.
all the religious holidays around this time of year, but yeah, be nice, take care of each other, and
Diego, we're gonna say Merry Christmas on the podcast again.
I started with that one,
No, you
so
didn't. I heard Happy Holidays and ignored everything else.
I,
They call it the holiday parade now, Diego. It's not the Christmas parade. What's happening to this country?
goodbye, Jonathan Demme.
Goodbye, Judy.
Merry Christmas, Jodie Foster.
What if he really is the real?
No such thing as Santa.
These bad men, they're all on my naughty list. Naughty.
That's naughty!
And what do you do to the naughty ones?
I give him a lump of coal.
Where is it? I gotta watch.
I believe in you, Santa.
Nobody cried when the shark died. Santa died. Santa died. Everybody cried.